Hey guys, welcome. Welcome to this is the substitute lecture for MPAI 5600 for this upcoming week for week one. So I just want to start off with a couple of announcements. Excited to get started. Saw your bios. I think even though there's only three of us now in the class, I think we'll have some great interaction. The advantage is that we get a little bit more of an intimate experience with three people. The disadvantages is, well, there's more advantage still is everyone has to participate, right? I rely on class participation. If there's 12 people, there's usually 4 or 5 that participate. Here you can't hide behind anybody. So I want everyone prepared for the class and really to engage in the material and engage with each other going forward. So there is no class on Tuesday, on September 3rd. This is the class. So when you watch this, go ahead and start with Module 1, the intro module, or go ahead and start with Module 1. What I also want to say is please mention in the announcement here is I am now might have to travel to Hawaii, or my travel might get extended to Hawaii on class next week. So usually class meets at Monday at 5. I really want to engage in some way. I don't want to leave the class. So what I'm proposing is that on Monday night at 9 p.m., we all have an online session live on Zoom, and we just go over the readings and go over the discussion. It'll be the COVID-19 discussion going forward. If that's a problem, let me know, but I really want to get together, even though it's outside of our normal hours, even just for an hour, just to talk about that, talk about some admin issues going forward. So let me know if online class, we'll say 9 o'clock on that Monday night on on September 9th is a problem. And again, I'm stuck in Hawaii, so I know it's rough, but I'm 4 hours, 5 hours away, or time difference, so I have to do a little bit later. And then finally, ChatGPT. We are struggling as a university and academia with ChatGPT. I will just say this: I've caught people using ChatGPT in this class, or not this class, but in previous classes. The assignments are so narrow and so focused that to just use ChatGPT and hand it in as your discussion or a paper, you may get away with it, you may not. Just don't take the risk. You're grad students, you're not undergrads, you're presumably here to learn, engage with the material, and yeah, just be cognizant of that. And again, you don't want to risk getting exposed. So I'll leave that there. So week one, again, we're going to talk about introduction to intelligence. Some of you, as I saw in your bios, I don't think anybody here had deep intelligence experience, so this might be new to many of you. But if you're coming from the military, you might have been exposed to some of these intelligence concepts beforehand. We're going to talk about the intelligence cycle. Different variations of it, my variation, and what you'll see in the Lowenthal. And then we're going to apply the intelligence cycle to the COVID-19 case study. Many of the case studies that we're going to talk about in this class are decades old, from Pearl Harbor to Yom Kippur War, etc. But I think this is one where we're all familiar with it, so we, or at least we'll remember it, and you can remember where you were when it happened, when you got your first information, what could have been done, and what processes could have been done to mitigate COVID-19, particularly in those early days back in 2020, and how intelligence should have warned, been more specific on their collection, or briefed to policymakers better. I'll let you decide going forward. But that's the case study. For this week, what I want to do is spend a minute going over the schedule for the rest of the course. Again, it's 13 modules. This is Module 1, which we are in now, as soon as you watch this video. Each module is kind of set up where there's an introduction, there's the materials. I recommend reading the materials beforehand, watching my lectures, and then participation in the discussion board. All discussions will, Thursday, I expect you to post your discussion, and then by Sunday, post your responses to 2 other courses. Again, it says 50 to 200 words. Make it, 200 words on that. And then your responses should be, 50 to 100 words. So yeah, that's what we'll or your sponsor should be 50 to 100 words. So that's will be your discussion every week. If there's 2 questions, it'll be 200 words each. So yeah, look at that. This is this week's discussion, and make sure you do it on Thursday and respond over the weekend to one of your classmates. So the format, again, discussion, and then I'll give you a warning for the paper, any cupping papers. So start looking at the collection strategy this week. Next week, you get much more detail on the collection strategy. You get collection planning, and again, introduction, the materials, the lecture video, and discussion board assignments. And you'll see that. So Module 3 is analysis, analytical flaws. Module 4, we start getting into the case studies. So Pearl Harbor and Yom Kippur War for strategic surprise. Module 5, the 2 case studies are 9/11 and Iraq WMD. Some of you might be old enough to remember that. Some of you might not have been born when that happened. But we start getting a little bit in the modern era. Then in Module 6, we go into the more current-based threats. So we start off with the ISIS counterterrorism Islamic threat. Module 7 is really the right-wing threat, but we will actually hold it on Capitol Hill, and we will replicate the January 7th or January 6th attack. Not actually replicate it, but we will do the walkthrough the way the insurrectionists did on January 6th. Then we go into some of the modules that are maybe focused in your tracks. So some of you might be doing law enforcement, and we'll do criminal intelligence. Some of you might be in the cyber track, so we'll do a lecture on cyber. Some of you might be in the business track. I don't think anybody is in the business track, but usually I get students, but I think it's still a good module. And then for the last modules, we look at kind of the current threat. So Russia-Ukraine will be a topic, and then the PRC will be really the counterintelligence from the PRC will be the Module 12. And then for the final, we're going to actually look, this is something new, the October 7th attack, Hamas, and why the Israelis were caught by surprise. So you're going to apply all the lessons we learned in all our discussions and apply it to really a current case study. So that's all I have for this week. Again, please in the announcements, let me know if the following Monday you can participate online on Zoom, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then we will take it from there. So let me know if there's any issues, and I look forward to this semester.